Hello guys, I'm Amin Khalili and I am here for you to review the new Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Let's review this. Samsung announced its S23 lineup 3 weeks ago, and I gotta say, I love all of them, especially when you hold it in hands. This is beautiful. Before starting the review, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and ring the bell icon so you get noticed when we upload a new video. Let's start with the body. On the back, we have a glass, and on the front, we have a glass. It's a glass sandwich phone, and the both sides has Gorilla Glass Victus 2 protection, which is nice, but there are some rumors and some reports about its scratch resistance, and the users claim that it scratches easily, and I don't know if it's true or not, but our review model has no affection in the last week of reviewing this phone, and I think it's fine and you can live with it. But I prefer using a glass and a case protection for my $1,200 phone, which is expensive. When you have an expensive phone, you gotta protect it. And I suggest you to use an screen protector and a case protector. Design wise, there is nothing changed from last year. You should be so curious and so detailed to see the differences between this year and the last year S22 Ultra. Screen has less curve over the edges, which is nice. I love this addition in design, and cameras are a little bigger, but the overall handiness of the phone is amazing. I love handiness of this phone. I have Google Pixel 7 over here, and they feel the same. I love handiness of the Pixel 7 Pro, and I love the handiness of this phone. It is a lot more handy than S22 Ultra, and I like it. This is one of the best upgrades of this phone from last year, and I love the feel on my hand when I hold this phone. S23 Ultra has an armor aluminum frame, which is nice and sturdy. On the right, we have volume rocker and power button, which is nice. On the bottom, we have speaker grills, S Pen, which I love. I love the S Pen on the Samsung phones. And the Type-C port on the bottom, a microphone, and a SIM card array. On the left, we have nothing except antenna lines, and on the top we have one microphone hole and an antenna line. On the back, we have a matte finish. This is the black one. I love Samsung exclusive colors, and I think if you can buy them, you should buy them. In Iran, we can't buy Samsung exclusive colors because they are not supported here, but I suggest you to buy the red one. I love the red one. They have a matte black frame on it and a beautiful red on the back. I like the blue one too, a light blue color. I love that too, and I prefer those colors. But they are good. I also like the green one, the black one, and the white one, which is called creamy. And all of them are beautiful, especially because they are matte. And it's not like Pixel 7 Pro, which is shiny AF. I hate shiny phones, And I love matte black phones like this, or matte blue, or matte red, or matte white. They are all gorgeous. Also, S23 Ultra has an amazing speaker, one on the bottom and one on the top over the earpiece speaker, which is nice. There is enough balance on the phone and you may not recognize the difference between the bottom speaker and the top speaker, which is nice. And I love its speakers on this phone. They are loud, they are bassy, and they are everything you want. But I prefer using external speakers or a headphone when I'm using my phone because it's kind of weird. Why you should use your phone speakers to listen your loud songs? Use a headphone, bro. If I want to give it a score about its body design, I may give it a 9 out of 10 because I still prefer flat screens over the edgy screens, curved screens. It has a slight edge curve over the screen, but I don't like it. I prefer flat design, but it's good in the hand and I love it. It is gorgeous. I can give it 9 out of 10. Also, another thing I forgot to say is it is IP68 water resistant, water and dust resistant, which is nice, and we kind of expect that from a Samsung flagship in 2023. Let's talk about the screen. Samsung S23 Ultra has a dynamic AMOLED 120 Hz display at 1750 nits of brightness at its peak, which is nice and insane. My Google Pixel 7 Pro has almost 1500 nits of brightness and it has, I think, 20% more, which is nice, and you can see the screen everywhere you want, under the sun, in the outdoors, in the indoors, and I love the screen here. One thing I should say is its default resolution is 1080p and you should make it 2K or 1440p, and it doesn't affect your battery life that much, but you get a better sharpness on the screen and you get everything at its highest peak available on this phone. So use it. Also, there is an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner under the display, which is nice. I love it. It is fast, it is accurate, and I prefer it over the optimal fingerprint scanner on the OnePlus phone or Pixel phones or other phones. I don't know why only Samsung use ultrasonic, but it is fast, it is accurate, and I love it. The only thing you've got to take care of is your screen protector. Ultrasonic fingerprint scanners are not compatible with all screen protectors, and you should buy a valid and branded one because they might not work on your phone, and it might be hard for you to find the compatible screen protector for your phone. But if you buy it from retail stores or other valid stores, you can buy it easily and you will have no problems with this screen. If I want to give it a score for its screen, I got to say it's 10 out of 10. It's a Samsung screen. There is no doubt. I like it. Okay, let's talk about cameras. This phone has 4 cameras on the back and 1 camera on the front. On the back, we have one 200 megapixel camera. I will talk about it. 2 10 megapixel telephoto. One of them is 10 times zoom, which you can use for your super moon shots or sun shots, or creeping on people. Don't do that. And you have one more 12 megapixel ultra wide, which is nice. I love the camera system on this phone, but I prefer using higher megapixel sensors on the telephoto cameras. Samsung could use 50 megapixel cameras for the telephoto. I don't know why they don't use it, but the difference between cameras is sensible. Why? This is a not consistent camera system. I don't know why Samsung is doing this. You have one 200 megapixel cameras, and when you zoom out, you go to your 12 megapixel ultra wide, and you feel it. You feel the change. You feel the difference between these qualities. And also, When you zoom in, you go to your 10 megapixel telephoto or other 10 megapixel telephoto, which is 10 times zoom, you see the difference between lenses. And I don't like this difference. I like 200 megapixel sensor on this phone, but I don't like the difference between these sensors. You got to use 50 megapixel sensor. I know it may be more expensive, but it is your flagship, and the inconsistency between cameras are not acceptable at this price. The 200 megapixel camera is a huge upgrade over the last year. They have 108 megapixel camera. It was good, it was reliable. And this year we have 200 megapixel. It has insane details. When you capture a 200 megapixel photo, you can easily zoom to your photos and see every detail you want. So it can work like a 5x telephoto for you. I can easily say that. And it is one of the most insane things about this phone. I like 200 megapixel, but if you want a little more megapixel and more dynamic range over your photo, you can use 50 megapixel mode. And in this mode, you can get a little better shot over 200 megapixel because it can use more computational photography for you. But still, I think the most perfect picture for your unzoomed photos is at 12 megapixels. I like it. This is good. And also, if you want a better zoom, you can use your telephoto cameras. You don't have to use 200 megapixel and have an insanely big pictures files to see a little detail to your photos or crop it. You can use your telephoto. This is my point on this. S23 Ultra has an ability to shoot 8K and 30 frames per second videos, which is nice, and you can see this footage right here. I'm looking at this camera. And what do you think about the microphone quality at this distance? I think it is 1 meter, 1.5 meter. And what do you think? This is my microphone quality, my camera quality. This is S23 Ultra quality with its microphones. What do you like? Can you tell the difference? This is Canon R6 $2,500. This is Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra $1,200. In the selfie camera, we have a 12 megapixel camera, which is a downgrade from 40 megapixel from last year. Actually, this is not a downgrade. The 12 megapixel camera on the front is an upgrade from 40 megapixel because megapixel is not everything about camera quality. It's about the sensor size, it's about the aperture your lens can get, and it's about a lot of things. I like this selfie camera more than last year because it has a better lighting, better quality, and it has better details over the last year, which someone may think it's weird, but it is not. It is the truth. You may have a lower megapixel camera with a better quality over a higher megapixel camera. This is the truth here, and Samsung knows it. The company who used 200 megapixel sensor on its phone. I give it 9 out of 10, and I think it's a fair point for this phone. Let's talk about performance. S23 Ultra have the best chipset on the market, a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 with 12 GB of RAM and 256 storage of UFS 4. This phone is fast. You can easily do anything with it. I think this is one of the best phones you can buy in the market. This is one of the fastest phones you can buy. I prefer to see a 16 GB of RAM on an Ultra phone. This is Ultra, Samsung. You are using 12 GB of RAM for the 3 last years. And we have 12 here too. I don't know why. Samsung is selling 8 GB version of these phones too, at the low-end model. I don't know why, but this is not acceptable for me for a $1,200 flagship. But the thing is acceptable for me is it starts at 256 GB of storage. I like it. Samsung removed 128 GB storage on this phone, and it is the wise choice because It has 200 megapixel camera, it has 8K video recording capability, and all of it requires a lot of storage, and you can't do any of that on a 128 gigabytes of storage. And this thing is one of the wisest choice Samsung made. I played some games on this phone. They ran perfectly fine. I use this phone as my daily driver, and I didn't have any problem on my apps, on Telegram, Instagram, or anything on camera application. It was fast, accurate, and it has a little bit of shutter lag because every Android phone has it, and this is fine. Last benchmarks shows this phone is 20% less powerful than iPhone 14 Pro in the CPU department, but it is fine. You won't notice this difference, and both of them are the fastest phone available in the market. There is no doubt. This is one of the fastest phones. There is no worries on the performance department. One thing I forgot to say is this phone has a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy, which is a little overclocked on the CPU and the GPU side. It has a little more scores on the benchmark than other 8 Gen 2 devices, but there is no much difference, and it's a branding thing and marketing thing for this phone, which is okay. There is a lot of marketing things for the other phones. It is a little noticeable, and it's better than other marketing for other brands. If I want to give it a score on the performance side, I can give it a 10 out of 10 easily, because this is the fastest phone I ever used other than iPhone 14 Pro. I like this phone. There is no worries on the performance side, and you can easily buy this phone and use it for at least 4 years, because Samsung update this phone for 4 years and promised 4 years of major Android updates for this phone, which is nice. Let's talk about software. One UI 5.1, Android 13. I don't like it. I hate it. It is like Android 10. Look at this. Look at this. It is like Android 10. Can you tell a difference between this UI and One UI 3.0? One UI 5.1 and 3.0. Can you tell the difference? No, you can't. You should use it and tell, oh, okay, there is a better animations, there is some new widgets, there is a new lock screen options, but this is not Android 13. Look at this difference. Look at this difference. This is my Pixel 7 Pro with the modern Android 13 design, and this is Galaxy S23 Ultra with old Android design. I don't like this design, and I think Samsung made it wrong here this year. I don't like this UI. This is old and it doesn't feel modern and new for me. At best, I can give it 5 out of 10. I don't like it. And there are two things which we had last year on the Samsung phones, and we have it here too. S Pen, which you can use for anything, like rotating your camera, like can I find the button? Like rotating your camera or doing something like this. And you can use for screenshots, you can use for anything you want. And I love a stylus, especially for my Instagram stories. It is very handy. I can use it for anything. I can type it on the phone. This is the thing I love in every Ultra or Note phones on Samsung. I really want it on my Pixel. I love it. And also there is a DeX, Samsung DeX option. So you can use your Samsung DeX with a regular Type-C to HDMI cable like we have here, and you get to use this phone. It is easy to use, and I think this is one of the things you can use. I don't want to make it too special for you, but it is here and you can use it. Good to have these options. There is nothing to say here. I can give this phone a score of 9 out of 10 because it is one of the best phones on the market. And if you want to ask, should I buy it? Yes, you should buy it. This is one of the best phones you can buy. I love it. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to our channel, like this video, and comment your opinion under this video. Thank you.